Previously on the diary.
I don't remember leaving chocolate in my room. I certainly knew not to make that mistake. But how could you know it would lead to your doom? I can't stop crying. I'm filled with hate. I also noticed that the piece of the wheelchair that I was holding in my hand that Bobby was trying to get from me was actually a pair of brass knuckles. The very next thought in my head was, today at school, I noticed one of the 5 guys had a roll of bills. That roll of bills must have gone through at least 17 guys and got thicker every time. Unfortunately, the last person to get the money was a man that grabbed it through the yard fence. 5 guys from school were waiting for me outside. The boys were fighting each other. In the struggle, I still got whacked in the nose. The guy that thought I needed to smell his elbow up close had his face rearranged by someone else. He really looks like he lost a fight with a bear or something, if the bear were made out of metal. The more I stared into his eyes, the more I realized that the man Jessica was following at school the other day was the same delivery guy that we both interviewed dressed as secretaries. And then I saw the entire plan. You don't need to steal the final exams from the principal's office because he'll just get new ones. But if you know who will be delivering the new ones, you can pay that guy off and get a scholarship for grades. I escaped the hospital yesterday. Jessica made a very convincing argument. They were finally having Mr. Morgan's funeral. Of course I had to be there. The arts teacher was at the funeral. I was this close to tapping her on the shoulder to offer her my condolences when suddenly police officers handcuffed me and said, "You are under arrest for the murder of Mr. Lionel Morgan." According to them, I was clearly in the video and complicit to his murder along with Rocco. They will let me watch the video tomorrow to see if there is anything I can do to help.
The following takes place on May 28, 2015.
Dear Diary, we have no house, but we are not homeless. As you well know by now, Jessica's dad is alive and well, so they offered us to stay with them at their house. That is, the same house I helped Jessica clean up after she committed her crime. It brings back a lot of memories, but today I want to tell you about the video that Mr. Morgan saw before he died. It started with a sepia-filtered view of the sidewalk. It seemed to have been shot from a first-person view, like a GoPro camera or something attached to someone's head. It was also edited with film dust and scratches like an old projector film. It jumped around as well. The focus was on a huge centipede that was crawling around. The viewer was crouched close to it. It looked like midnight. Both subjects were casting faint shadows on the curb. The viewer then smashed the insect to a pulp with his foot. A female arm reaches into the shot and hands him something quickly. Then he looks up and sees the tree that leads up to my room. He climbs up. Pukey Face comes to the window wearing his protective comb, but the very first thing he does is take a chocolate bar from his hand, probably what was handed to him on the ground. They're now best friends. Oh, Pukey Face. He comes into my room, stands at the edge of my bed, and stares at me as I sleep, casting his long shadow over the covers extending all the way to my face, and waits in silence for half an hour. He then looks away to go through my drawers. Of course he found my lace underwear. And, ew, gross! Yuck! The video jumps to outside our school, where the delivery guy I met takes a roll of bills from a kid from the yard fence. It then skips again to show the same delivery guy dropping the new final exams at the principal's office. It cuts again to show the kid from the yard holding down the guy who elbowed me on the nose while Bobby punched him with a pair of brass knuckles. Oh, Bobby. It then goes inside Mr. Morgan's basement. He's already bound to the chair and gagged. He looks terrible, probably had a few days left. I had to look away at first. But then, there she was, my twin sister, squeezing a sponge over Mr. Morgan's mouth so he could have a little bit of water that he had to suck through the gag. They never hurt him physically, but the viewer kept calling her by my name. I assumed they wanted Mr. Morgan to think it was me who was doing that to him. I have to admit, for an attosecond, even I thought, did I do any of that? But I would never. Not to Mr. Morgan, anyway. Now I understand Rocco's comment about finally having the one he wanted. He had my sister who looks just like me. In the video, they start making out in front of Mr. Morgan. Nothing too R-rated, though. 15 minutes later, it looped back to the start with the centipede. I really want to help the cops out, but I don't know if I have anything for them other than giving them dates for the events I recognized. There's nothing in there that we didn't already know or suspected. All I can tell them is that it wasn't me. That they should be looking for my sister that we all thought was dead. I didn't throw my mom under the bus with the cops, but I'm pretty sure she knows something. Out of curiosity, I decided to go back to my October 2014 diary entries. I remembered I'd copied that entry in Dad's old journal and had saved the newspaper clipping she had with it. I wanted to refresh my memory of exactly what went down to see if there was a clue. On October 10th, 2014, my mom told me my father had donated blood.
Enough to save my life 3 times over.
But his journal said,
I've accumulated enough blood already to save an adult 4 times over.
Originally, I dismissed this thinking she just didn't remember correctly, but maybe there's something more to this discrepancy. Love, C.